The following 92-second news update is going to be brought to you by your local Ford dealer. Decent weather today, 54 now, 70 later on. I do have a real gripe. Last night, we threw the official Boy George lookalike contest, sanctioned by Epic and Columbia Records, who have Boy George on their label. And we have all sorts of news coverage. They've got newspapers, I think the wire services, there were magazines there. And we let Channel 4 in, let NBC come in, and they bring their cameras in and stuff. And you've got to admit that when TV cameras come in, you've got to make room on stage for them. We do everything we can. 11 o'clock comes, and I'm going to say this. They showed my picture on the screen last night.
Didn't show me.
Thank
goodness.
They showed the Boy George lookalike winners. They don't mention that 92 KTU, it was our contest.
They seem like something they did.
I don't understand. They just act like it was just thrown together, and the next thing you know, these people showed up at this club. I don't know what. There wouldn't have been any story for them. They needed something that they had Chuck Scarface and Sue Persimmon Nose. What are you kidding? I don't understand why they do it. So this morning, I want to tell you, why don't you call Channel 4? And why the hell don't you mention the radio station when they do stuff like that? And that's not the first time that's happened.
Channel 4. Why don't you just say? Well, I guess.
What am I going to say? I got to say it when you got to say they're jerks. But and I'd let Chuck Scarface come up here, and I'll let Chip Cipolla beat the hell out of him.
Thanks a lot.
Well,
Can
you're
I
a
dress
man.
normal tomorrow when we go to the track?
What?
Can I dress normal? Want to go to? Do I have to put on a horse costume?
We're going to have to start doing a lot of things to make sure people know that you are a real man. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have to fight Chuck Scarface. But I have a funny feeling that Sue Persimmon Nose you'd have a lot more trouble with. All right? It's 18 minutes before 7 at 92 KTU. I'm not kidding, though. I think Channel 4 sucks. And now here's Chip Cipolla.
Thank you very much. Guess who's going to be at the White House on Monday?
Whoa, Chuck Scarface.
Michael Jackson.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's going to be there. The White House anxiously awaiting a visit from Michael. He's going to be to help kick off a drunk driving campaign. The president, really? I didn't know Michael drank.
Why don't we go?
Ooh,
why don't we go in a truck and crash into the gate to start, sort of get the thing going?
The last idea you had, I'm not too thrilled, wasn't it?
Hi, welcome back. This is a segment of our program where we're going to simply discuss unusual-looking people. So let me introduce you to Jay Thomas.
Oh, great.
Jay Thomas is there he is. He's a morning man.
I brought my crowd with me.
That's right.
Busload, yeah.
Morning man at WKTU, and he's recently sponsored a Boy George lookalike contest. How many people turned out for it?
Well, we had 300 or 400 entries at the station.
Who judged?
Well, believe it or not, we had a judge from Ralph Lauren. Is that right?
Yves Saint Laurent.
Yves Saint Laurent. Well, one of those. Somebody that pays me that I forgot.
Something with an L and an R.
We had Boy George's record label was there. Epic and Columbia was there, and we had a guy named G. Keith Alexander, who's just a disc jockey. He had a tuxedo, so we had him be
He's
one
a
of the
beautiful
judges.
Giorgio Armani tuxedo.
Right.
I've seen him in it several times. All right, let's take a look at two winners or finalists.
These are the winners. This is the Boy George winners. Now, we're not going to tell you who's really a male and who's really a female. That would take
that would take all the
fun out of it, But there's a male winner and a female. They both won video tape recorders from us, and we had a big night. And we went to the Copa, and we had a big time.
Well, first introduce yourself. Your name is
Louise Millman.
Oh, well, you see, now it's over.
No, so that's the boy, and you are
Tony Stanhope.
Tony Stanhope, right? Okay. Now I want to have audience oppose. Which one do you give the Boy George lookalike winner to? Is it this one? Yeah. Or that one? Well, you're both winners anyway. How do you, is this the way you normally stroll the streets, or?
Absolutely not. I'm a high school teacher, and so the wonderful thing about this is that when I take my makeup off,
you still look like that.
No, absolutely not. You wouldn't recognize me walking along the street.
Do you think if your students were watching right now that they would recognize you,
No.
Louise?
They'd know the name.
What prompted you to do this?
I do many different things with makeup and theater and what have you, and I was at Arabian Night at a party dancing around, and someone came up to me and said, "You look like Boy George with all that makeup on your face." And I said, So I went and spoke to a makeup artist, and 6 hours later I looked in the mirror and this is what I look like.
And Tony, how about you? How'd you get involved in entering this contest?
Well, I've always dressed like this.
Good, Tony. Well done. Boy George has been following you around.
No, I'll tell you what happened. Like, when George started out, when he's 15 years old, I started when I was 15. What was happening to him in London was happening to me in America. Okay? I mean, I can sing exactly like George if I want to.
Can we hear that?
What's that?
Can we hear it?
Miss me, I know you miss me blind. But, but my own...
Well, I can't do it, don't look at me.
We're not going to, we can't even do the Clancy brothers. But anyway, so...
But I'm not, you see, I never copied George, with the makeup. I've always dressed on more of the outrageous, look. I'm pursuing a career now.
How do your parents feel about this? I mean, like at Christmas morning when you come down, everyone's around the tree for the gifts and you're dressed like this?
Well, they think I'm the Christmas tree,
Good!